So, you've put together an incredible primary application and even prepared yourself so that you're ready to apply early. But that's not where the medical school application stops. Unfortunately, the most time-consuming and difficult part is actually soon to follow. But don't worry, because in this video I'm going to go over everything you need to know about secondary essays. Stay tuned. What's up YouTube? My name is J.R. Smith and today we're going to talk about all things secondary essays. In the last 4-part mini-series we went over everything that you need to know for the primary or AMCAS application. But after fine-tuning and perfecting your application and submitting it to every school that you want to go to, you'll be quickly flooded with multiple essays from almost all, if not all, the schools that you applied for. Before we get into all the strategies and tips that I have for you, let's first get a general understanding of what secondary essays are. So, secondary essays are the collection of essay prompts that medical schools send to their applicants. Some schools end up sending this to everybody who applies or submits their primary or AMCAS application to them, while others only send secondary essays to those who meet minimum MCAT or GPA standards. Each school has their own prompts, though many have similarities, but one school can have one optional essay with a 500 character limit, while another school can have 9 mandatory essays with a 500 word limit. And for reference, 500 characters looks like this, and 500 words looks like this. So as you can see, the length and the number of essays can drastically vary among schools. Now, secondary essays are the medical school's opportunity to see if you as a candidate fits within their program. Now remember this point because we're going to come back to it. It's not just about seeing if you'll be a great doctor. That's the focus of the primary application. The secondary essays are the school's opportunity to see if your values match theirs. What does that even mean though, right? If I'm going to be a great doctor, shouldn't I be a great fit at any school? No, that's not the case. Medical schools often send interview invitations to less than 10% of their applicants. And I can assure you that more than 10% of a medical school's application pool has incredible stories, amazing stats, and well put together primary applications. So after reviewing primary applications and determining their top applicants, how do they decide which ones actually get interview invitations? They're going to choose the candidates that they believe best fit into their mission and best share in their values. Let's take a look at a few examples. So this document includes the mission statements for all the medical schools in the United States. You can find all this information and a lot more on each medical school's actual website, but I'll drop a link in the description below to this document so you can have it for your reference. Just as an example, let's just go over the mission statement for Albert Einstein College of Medicine of Yeshiva University. The Albert Einstein College of Medicine of Yeshiva University is a premier research-intensive medical school dedicated to innovative biomedical investigation into the development of ethical and compassionate physicians and scientists. Inspired by the words of our namesake, we welcome students, faculty, and staff from diverse backgrounds who strive to enhance human health in the community and beyond. So as you can see in their mission statement, it seems like they're very dedicated to research. And if you're a student who does not enjoy research, who doesn't enjoy talking about their research or have much research experience, this may not be the best fit for you. However, if you're an applicant who prides themselves on your biomedical investigation into certain things and you have a lot of research experience that you love talking to, the Albert Einstein College of Medicine of Yeshiva University may be a clear fit for you. So now let's scroll down for another example here. Let's pick a shorter one. Let's see. Here we go, Harvard, perfect example. So the mission of Harvard Medical School is to create and nurture a diverse community of the best people committed to leadership in alleviating human suffering caused by disease. And so from their mission statement, it seems like they really are trying to emphasize their value of leadership and how they want to have leaders in healthcare. And so if this is something that you're passionate about, and as long as you are still one of their top candidates from your primary application and they see you as one of their top candidates, the thing that's going to differentiate you from their other top candidates is if you share in valuing the emphasis that they have for leadership. And again, you'll be able to find all of these mission statements as well as a lot more information on each school's particular website. But this is important because not only will you be able to determine where you best fit in, because ultimately you want to be at a school that's the best fit for you, but you'll also be able to know what values that you carry that you should be emphasizing in the secondary essays to most appeal to that particular school. So what can you do to put yourself in the best position to excel in your secondary essays? Number 1, do research on your schools to determine their mission and what they value. You can make a spreadsheet, use sticky notes, or whatever works for you, but you need to document each school's missions and values so that you can not only know what you need to emphasize throughout your secondary essays, but you can also start to be directed towards what school is the best fit for you. And you will surely be asked, why are you applying to their school in particular? And knowing what makes them unique and being able to share how your values align with theirs will help you stand out as a candidate. Yes, this requires some work, and I'd honestly recommend spending at least an hour diving into each school's website so you can have a full comprehensive understanding of that school, but that just goes to show how important it is that you begin this process early. I mean, come on, you're quarantined, you're not doing anything else right now. And it's only after you have a clear and comprehensive view of each school that you can best emphasize how your values coincide with theirs and best illustrate how you and that school are a perfect fit. The second tip I have is just as crucial. Pre-write your essays. Very rarely will a medical school actually change the prompts for their secondary essays. This means that you can actually begin answering these prompts before you even receive the essays from the schools. And there are multiple resources out there that have all of the secondary essay prompts for each school, and I'll make sure to drop a link in the description below to the one that I used. But just like we talked about in the previous video, it is paramount that you have your completed application submitted as soon as possible. This includes both your primary application, the AMCAS application, as well as your secondary essays. Now, most people apply to about 20 schools. I know, but it's what you gotta do to get in. And for the most part, all of those schools will send their secondary essay prompts at the same time. So this means that if you wait to receive the prompt to begin writing, not only will you not be able to get your application in early, but by the time you get around to those last few schools, you'll be struggling just to meet the deadline. But when you have the essays already written, revised, and perfected by the time the schools send them out to you, all you have to do is a little copying and pasting. Now, I do want to emphasize that it's important to start with your top choice schools. In an ideal world, you would have a written and perfected essay for every single school that you apply to before they even start sending them out. But in reality, you may only get through 7 to 10 of those schools before you start receiving essay prompts. And you want those 7 to 10 schools to be your top choice schools, because by being prepared to submit those right away, you're giving yourself the best shot at getting into those schools. You'll come to realize many similarities in prompts across schools that you're applying to, and you'll be able to use very similar, if not the same, answers to these prompts. But I must warn you, if you name a school in one of your answers, make sure that you update that answer before you send it to another school. You do not want to be applying to Harvard and calling them Stanford. And lastly, have multiple people revise and edit your essays, at least for your top choice schools. It's so important to get multiple eyes on your essays, and by doing this, you can ask the reader, what do you think that I valued from my response to this question? And you can use their answer as a gauge to see if you're emphasizing what you need to. So that's it. That's how you get the most out of your secondary essays. I hope this video helps as we get closer and closer to this year's application cycle beginning. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. That's always greatly appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe, tap that bell. New videos every Saturday. You're not going to want to miss them. In the next video, I'll be going over how to prepare for the medical school interview, and that will conclude this series on the medical school application. But until then, keep evolving, and I'll see you guys next time. But that's not where the medical school application stops. College of Medicine of Yeshiva University is a premier research-intensive medical school dedicated to innovative biomechanical. If I could read, this would make it a lot easier. And for the most part, that is spit. And as we get closer and closer to this, or what?
Now it is.
Oh, yeah, it's recorded.
Yeah. Blooper.